All right, it's time for a stream. Another stream. I believe, I am confident that I got my audio levels sorted at this time. Oh, I also set up lights. Here, let's see if they work. Work, lights. Lights. I've rotated my entire room like 45 degrees so that I could have something behind me instead of curtains trying to hide junk. So I hope this is nice. I hope it's fun and feels cozy and also looks better. But anyways, that's not why you came here. You didn't come here to look at me, I presume, unless you did, in which case, welcome, thank you. But I am working on a project right now, and I had the idea that I was like, I might as well stream it. And I have been remaking some of my old tracks, specifically my kind of like spooky, like horror Halloween themed tracks, and I'm compiling them together with a bunch of new tracks to release in October to have this, I'm calling it horror-fi, Halloween themed, lo-fi album. And I thought while I'm doing this would be a really good time to update my Stranger Things lo-fi track, which has been my top performing track since it came out. Basically, it's kind of the track that made me think, oh, maybe I could make this my job. I'm getting enough attention. But I also kind of hate that I've tried, and every time I release new music, my goal is just to make it better than Stranger Things Lo-Fi, so that Stranger Things Lo-Fi can become, is no longer my top track. And I just hate that when I put it out, I really had no idea what I was doing. Like, I didn't know what mixing really was. I didn't know how to master. I just made everything loud and tried to make it sound good. So I thought I'd do a remaster, and I realized I don't even have my project file from back then. So instead of remastering, we are going to completely remake it from scratch in Ableton. And let's switch over to that screen. That's not the screen we want. That is none of the things. Okay, there's that. Now how do I make my camera be fixed? Dang it. Every time I think I've solved my stream issues, there's new stream issues. There's my face. Hey, it's me. All right, so we're going to just pause some Spotify, and hopefully Ableton is loud enough now. But so here's the original track if you're unfamiliar-ish. Played it at the intro. And I think I have the same serum preset that I used for this intro that I made myself. But other than that, I have no idea. This is this little bit of MIDI here. I was trying to figure out, there's like a vocal section that I'm pretty sure it sounds a little bit like me, but a little bit too clean. My voice is raspy, so I'm pretty sure this was a sample that I chopped up. But if it is, I do not have that sample anymore. So I'm probably going to re-sing that. I think I'm going to just redo that whole line with my actual voice, which I don't know if I'll do on stream, just because levels-wise, when I sing, I tend to be really loud, and it might be distorty and peaky. But we're going to start with this synth, and I'm pretty sure, here, let me make my keyboard. The plug. And now my phone's vibrating again. How's this always happen? Do not disturb. Okay, I have a keyboard, and I'm gonna try not to spill my energy drink. And so this is what we have. There it is. Which is okay. It's not the best Stranger Things recreation. I also have an emulation of a Juno 106, which is, I believe, this plays from my computer keyboard. There it is. I believe this is, oh, I don't have the right thing selected. I believe this is the synth that they actually used in the original soundtrack. But no matter what I could do, I can't get it sounding quite how I like it. And honestly, I want it to sound sort of similar to that original anyway. So we're going to go with this serum. But I thought it'd be cool because this wasn't a preset or anything. I made this myself to sort of give some really basic understanding of synths. And I'm using Serum because it's what I have. Because when I started with music, I really wanted to make dubstep. I thought that was the coolest thing. And I was told that Serum is like a great dubstep plugin. So I went with it. I also use it for lo-fi. You can make like really great lo-fi patches. Here, let me MIDI load up classic Serum. So the default waveform is a saw, which sounds not great, but fine, depending, I guess, on your use case. But if you take like a nice, just a little sine wave like that, already sounds pretty cool. And if you really want to mess it up, I'll grab another one. Might use the basic shapes version of a sine. And here's a free trick. Find a rain sample in the noise oscillator. This is from a sample pack, so I think it'll have some rain in it from Echo Soundworks. Why am I blind? Something in here must be rain. No, this one. This will have rain. Noise space, tape, vocal loop, Burbank, rain. There we go. So Serum has this noise oscillator. It just plays noise. I think you can map it to your keys. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. But one thing I've found that's really cool is you put that on, pitch down, just turn off so you can't hear it. Use it as a send to the FM from noise on one of your oscillators, and then turn that oscillator's volume down and use it as an FM send. Where's the FM from B? On another oscillator. And that's just a sine wave. But now it has this nice kind of lo-fi tape wobble to it. But anyways, I'm being super ADHD. Basis of the Stranger Things sound is, I'm just going to knit preset. However you do that again. There we go. Is a saw. I think it's 2 saws. But the biggest thing that's going to help you with synth design is down here's your amp envelope. And every synth, whether it's Serum or, Operator or Massive or whatever else, is going to have an amp envelope. And it's where the ADSR acronym comes from. And it just affects volume over time. So you can see the shape, it's very square. That's just a sustained note. Attack is going to set the time that it takes your synth to get from 0 volume, 0 decibels to whatever you set your peak to. And then your decay is going to be how long it takes to get from your peak decibels down to whatever you set your sustain to. So if you set your sustain really low and your decay really high, it's still steady, but as you bring your decay down, it becomes really short. And if you raise your sustain, it doesn't totally mute at the end of the decay. It just kind of decreases in volume. And then release is the time it takes to get from wherever you set your sustain level to until absolute 0. Just sort of like sustain, when you think about like a piano, it's like after I let go of the note, how long does it continue to play? So for something like the Stranger Things patch, I want it to be pretty plucky. Oops. I like to start about 11 milliseconds, kind of a little life hack. If you're playing a melody back and you notice that your synth is like too poppy, I don't know if I can really recreate it right now, but if it's like every time a new note starts, it pops in like a not nice way and you don't know where that clicking's coming from, look for hard edges in your envelope shape. So a hard edge like that is going to be a lot clickier than just even a little bit, like 11 milliseconds of attack. Let's see. I probably did have some sustain. And then we're going to filter it down. already sounding a lot closer. So another thing with envelopes, so by default, it's affecting the amp, the volume of the overall synth. But you can also, in Serum, it's just a drag, but other synths might have like matrix stuff. You could drag that over and it'll start affecting other parameters like this cutoff here, which means that as the attack initiates, it's going to trigger this opening of the filter. And then it follows the same sort of volume over time as the main amp. So without any modulators, the filter right now, I'm going to put on both. It's an EQ essentially. So it's a low pass EQ. It's only letting frequencies below whatever I set it to through. So by modulating that, it just kind of gives a little bit of a little bit more pluckiness. I'm going to make it a little bit more open, I think. Actually, what we're making right now is not the initial sound at the beginning of the track, because that is a filtered down version, and I want to have a filter I can automate so that it opens over the course of the track. Here we are. So this one, oops. Oh yeah, it's soloed. There we go. So I want it to sound like the loudest part. And then I'm actually going to add another filter in the little effects tab here. And then this one's going to be something I can automate. I'm going to put on my mod wheel, which means my keyboard again. Keyboard. Is it working? There it is. I have this little wheel on my keyboard. That, oh, here, let me give it some room to do things. That now I can affect that envelope from my keyboard control, so I don't have to be using my mouse to drag things around. Just find where I want the lowest point to be. All right. And then from there, I'm actually just going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to look at what my previous one was. Oh, the envelope looks pretty similar, actually. My cutoff, I had to set it through 27, so I'll open up a little bit more. I'll see what effects I used here. So there's the automated filter on this one. It was a little more aggressive. Compressor, that's fair. Compressor just, in this case, like being used on a synth, is just making things louder, essentially. I have a reverb. I have mixed feelings about Serum's reverb because I feel like it has the effect that really high notes are louder in decibel level. They get much louder when you're using the Serum reverb, which shouldn't happen. I think that's a glitch, but it does happen, so I don't use it very often. And then I have a little bit of EQ. I'm just cutting out some mud there. But from this beginning sound, I'm actually gonna match it a little bit more to the new one we just made. I also have a little bit of EQ, just cutting out some bass. Just for the sake of the lo-fi track, because I'm going to be adding another bass, whereas in like the original Stranger Things track, I believe it is the bass instrument. But one thing I'm going to add from the original track is I'm going to add a chorus, and I have this emulation of the Juno chorus from Baby Audio called the Magic Switch, which is free. It's a function of their Super VHS plugin, which I don't have because the main reason I'd have it is for this button, and they give this button away for free. So that's maybe their mistake, but I love Baby Audio stuff. So I think this chorus is what's going to really, I'm going to bump up this volume a little bit. I think that's what's going to make our synth next level in this remake. It does seem a little bit more filtered, I'm thinking. Oops. I keep soloing things. Okay. Let's throw some MIDI down. I don't feel like moving everything to put my keyboard back, so I'm just going to type it in. The basis of the riff, is just a C major chord with the 7th, C major 7. Oh, in the octave, I assume. That sounds better. Now let's find that rhythm. How do we do this? I feel like there's like a pause. Maybe I'm not hitting the 8th. I think that's what it is. Maybe. Let's try this. Because it feels like there's like it pauses and then restarts. Nope. That definitely hits the 8th. Maybe I just have my tempo wrong. Oops. Okay. Play them simultaneously. I think that's it. I think I nailed it. Though it might be the ending. There it is. There we got it. So I wanted to skip that note. It gives it a little bit of a bounce. And just makes it a little bit more distinct from the original. Makes it more worthwhile making a lo-fi remix or something. I do feel like I want to filter it a little bit more still. I'm just realizing this internal filter. Oh, there you go. That's better. It's a little bit too open still. It sound different, but I don't mind it at the moment. Let's lay down some chords. So I do know for a fact that my chords are just start. Here, let's clean up some extra midis or extra tracks. One layer is definitely just Lounge Lizard, like just the default setting. Nope, please don't crash. Don't beach ball me. There we go. Which is a very nice, easy lo-fi sound. And I'm pretty sure it's just, let's see where the chord change is, how long. Oh, I just now realized that my chat was broken in OBS and I didn't see Coping Lawyers here. Coping Lawyer, if you're still here, hello, welcome. I hope I didn't ignore you away. Okay, let's see what this chord change is. That's still a C. There's the E minor. Okay. We're just going to draw this in again. I need a bigger desk so I can use my real keyboard. I'm thinking it's just a C major, not a C major 7, but let's see what a 7 sounds like. Oops. Oh, it definitely needs to be down at least several octaves. Nope. Make that a lot softer. There we go. I think I like it with the 7th chord. Just make that minor. 7th would be flat as well, though it might not be. Yeah, it's too bright. Let's take the 7th out of the minor. Oops. Keep trying to use my Mac volume, but it doesn't work when I'm streaming. Going from the change from C major to E minor doesn't sound distinct enough, so I might add the 7th back. That's nice. Once we get the arrangement locked in, we'll go back and we'll spend some more time on sound design. There's a re-space in there too. Which does start right at the beginning. Probably just going to figure out what the bass line is first. I'm just going to base it on the chords, I think. Yeah, I think it's just going up to that 3rd there. Oh, I'm definitely going down to the lower E, I realized. Which might not even be an E then. Might have gone to the A because I didn't understand. I didn't have the ear yet. Student inversion. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. No, I don't like the inversion. I think we're going to keep this an octave up. I'm going to use serum to make a re-space of some kind. I don't know if I'm going to use kind of a... Okay, that's going to be a placeholder sound. Let's try an A. it a B? Might be a B. I don't know. This one sounded better as an A, but the other one at the end, I thought needed to be a B. We'll do a little alternation. Okay, let's see. Let's see how it compares. There's a filter opening on the lead. Okay, I'm pretty sure also. So the chords are definitely two things layered. I'm willing to bet that I used Hybrid 64 for those 80s sounding chords because I used to really love this Hybrid 64 preset. But this there's no Max Silicon version of the synth, so I can only use presets. If I try to tweak anything, it crashes the synth. But I'm pretty sure it's just this 80s, this LA 80s. That sounds about right. Gonna filter it down. A little bit quieter. I do a lot of kind of mixing as I go, just so I can actually hear things. A lot more filtered. I probably put to, I don't use this very often, but Somatics Origin is a free like Lofi effect plugin that I used to use all the time. There's a good chance, even though it actually sounds worse, I think back then me would have still just made the choice to use this because I thought I was supposed to. There's our chord layer. I'm actually gonna, let's add a little, again, mixing as I go, which isn't necessarily a great idea, but I like it. I'll link my, I haven't named anything yet. Okay, Lounge Lizard, there it is. Make a little bit of EQ space in the 80s chords for the Lounge Lizard. Probably have a Reese preset. I would like to make one from scratch, but what's chill noise sound like? It's a little bit too intense. I don't mind that though. Oh no, it goes way too low. It drops an octave and suddenly sounds like a fart. Make it a little quieter. Not quite that quiet. I might even, I think I'm gonna drop this an octave down. I'm gonna use a different filter. Oh, I already have cages. That is way too loud. Which is why we use limiters. Okay, where does it start opening? gonna automate that. Oops. Why can I not see this filter in there? There it is. Let's go like 40%. I don't know if it'll go 100% open. See how that sounds. Nope. Even start lower might. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize this loop is an octave higher. That's why it sounds bad. I can make it louder now as well. Actually gonna add these in a track stack. Do a little side chaining to the lead riff here. Oops. Start naming things so I know where things are. I think I start that too low now. Oh, I just realized I couldn't see that filter before because it was in a group. So it was named channel strip filter. That feels better. Let's figure out our drum pattern. I hear my kick as a place. So this might sound a little bit obnoxious for a moment. Is an earlier. Oops. And that one is delayed. It occurs to me suddenly. I wonder if the song isn't in 4/4. 2, 3, 4. No, it's 4/4. And why is that kick not on the 1? Okay. Thing I did off stream that I'm not having to fix. I want that kick on a 1 beat somewhere. And that might mean that the song isn't 75 BPM and I was wrong. Looks... Yeah, I don't know. I think I just Just trying to have my J Dilla moment and putting kicks all over the place. Okay, here's the moment of truth. This is played over a metronome. It does feel slightly off. That might be what was happening there. Okay. That would make a lot more sense with my kick pattern. Okay. Yeah, because then these offbeat kicks are just on the half beat. Oops. There we go. 74 BPM, not 75. Suddenly, everything sounds better. I kind of hated that snare. Well, no, I obviously didn't hate it when I made this song, but I'm hating it now. I'm excited to be able to replace it with something. I add my go-to sidetrain preset is called COS, which makes it easier to search, and it's because I stole it from Closed on Sunday via his brother. But it makes it really easy to search because I don't name anything else Closed on Sunday, only my sidechain preset, so. Oh, that's why, because you're not kick. You're just called audio. You are called kick now. It's a bit excessive, like extremely so. But it was cool. All right, let's find a snare from the Humble Drums 1 pack. Oops. I like that. Pretty sure I just did every other beat snare. Also think my drums are a lot simpler back then. I think I only ever have the hat. Some sort of swell there as well that I'll have to figure out. Okay, let's find kind of a sloppy sounding hat. Oops, that is not a hat, that is a kick. Benjamin hat might work well for this. I have things soloed again. That's what's up. I'm gonna filter that down. We're getting there. Oh, I didn't realize that was in my chord stack. I like to keep my bass. I do a lot of grouping so I can process things together, but I like to keep my bass on its own thing. Okay. Now is when we figure out what that melody is, so I could potentially sing it. Yeah, we'll just use a basic piano for now. Actually, I might bust out the real keyboard for this. Oh, keyboard. Too many things on the desk. Okay. Why can I not hear you? Do not load. Is that what's up? Labs is a free piano plugin that used to be amazing, and it still like has a decent piano sound, but it sounds so terrible, or the app is so terrible rather. Why is keyboard not keyboarding? Oh, because there's a volume slider I never used that was all the way down. Okay. Chosen, how long have I been producing this kind of stuff? For 4 or 5 years. I started actually during around 2019. I was trying to start streaming on Twitch, and that was right around a time where one of the big music record labels, I don't remember which one, but one of the big record labels started doing copyright strikes on like everyone that used music at all, and were just absolutely nuking channels, whereas now they just like mute your VOD. They were absolutely nuking channels, and it was brutal, so everyone was super scared to use music. So I decided to just make beats. I figured lo-fi would be easy. I'd never done anything like it before. I'm my background is in like folk rock and punk kind of thing, playing guitar and singing. But I decided to make some beats for myself, and other people started listening to it just because it was DMCA safe. And then now that's not really a thing anyone cares about on Twitch anymore. But I've grown enough of an audience that I was like, I need to figure out what I'm actually doing and start producing some good stuff. Do I like Fred again? I do like Fred again. Um, I feel like he's very much was kind of handed his career on a platter, and as like a scrappy indie mom's basement kind of like origin story guy. I don't love that. I like people that are self-made. And Fred again is not really self-made, but I do like his music. I think he's good at what he does. Okay. It's not a full octave. Okay. I'm not a pianist if you can't tell. I think it goes down. That feels right. Let's record that. Nope. Can already forget it. Okay. B, no, D, E. Let's try it. Okay. I didn't play it on the right time at all, but there's the notes in MIDI form. Yeah. Quantize. Quantize saves lives. Oh. It kind of repeats, but I don't know if it goes back to the D that time. Ableton's piano roll can be so frustrating sometimes. I love the whole workflow in Ableton so much better than Logic, but I miss the Logic piano roll. Ah, chosen subscribe. Thank you. Oh, I just realized my alerts are under my streaming icons. That's how you know it's the first time I've gotten an alert since setting up this scene. But thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I can't move this because it's full screen. That's okay. We'll just have to have the alerts fixed for next stream, I suppose. All right. Does it go straight to the D? I'm not even convinced that these notes are the same as these notes. Oops, no, these notes. I don't know, those are the same. It's probably really obnoxious to listen to. I apologize. I could just try, because I'm eventually gonna sing it. I just like to know what notes I'm trying to sing before I try singing them. and parts of those are definitely digitally altered that I can't just actually sing. That like I don't know any human voice that can modulate that quickly. It definitely is like a little rundown. Oops. Okay. Actually, that might be the held note there. Might just be two B's, actually. I thought it was a run. I think it goes B B. Oops. That is a B, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm singing it an octave down now. Oops. Oh, someone outside is trimming their hedge suddenly. Okay, we're rolling now. I actually think that just goes short. Oh man, how long is this loop? Oh, good. I'm so glad that's the whole loop. I thought maybe I was going to change it up the second time. Making myself complicated or make things complicated for myself. Okay. Okay, even if that's not exactly correct, I really like this new melody. I'm gonna record some vocals for that in another time when I can use a different mic and set my levels and all that. And yes, there will be pitch correction. I might have to record in Logic for its native pitch correction. Is really nice. Ableton's supposed to have, like, in the beta version right now, it has pitch correction. So I know that we're gonna soon have pitch correction in Ableton, but I think I'm worried. I don't want to install the beta version. Is basically what I was trying to get at. The direction I'm heading in, because this is my livelihood. I don't want to risk not being able to work because I broke something by installing a beta software. But yeah, that would be good. Okay. The song, like the original intro, definitely goes to a B eventually. I don't think I did in this old cover. Seems like exactly the same, just with this new melody. Also never changed up drum beats back then. I don't know. I'm a much better producer these days, hence redoing these tracks. I just realized that is the wrong one. This is what I want to loop. Transposing piano is so much easier than transcribing piano is so much easier than transcribing a voice. Especially already knowing that it's in the key of C. Yeah, it was an octave up. That is 4 notes all exactly in a row. Okay. I don't know if I don't remember offhand if that little melody break was something I wrote or if that is in the intro song. Someone let me know. Okay. Let's record, but I need a little run at it because I'm not doing counting right now. Oops. Okay. Forgot to add that little ad lib in there. Figured it out. Oops. Ugh. Do not close without saving changes. That was a good reminder to save. Okay. Let's turn you off for a second. think it just loops from that part that I played way too late. Okay. Now it resolves. Yeah, I do that again. Okay. So we have the arrangement down. And it'll just be a matter of sound design. Which, how long have I been streaming? It's not too bad. I'll do a little bit of sound design yet today. Okay. This one's driving me nuts. Maybe I don't want that chorus on. I think it's just way more filtered down. Also using a different filter because I originally did this in Logic, so I was just using the Logic auto filter. Which also, I wonder if I have, let me see. This might crash my computer opening two DAWs and OBS at the same time. But we'll see. Oh. You don't need to scan audio. Yeah, I know. It's you broken. Okay. Sure. Empty project. Let's see if I still have. Oops. Things patches, lead synth. There's the auto filter. Starts at 50%. Which you'd think 50% would then be like. But it sounds way more filtered. Maybe. Filters do I have? I have so many plugins, and I keep deleting ones I don't use. Interesting. How do I affect the curve in this filter? That's sounding way better. I've never, hold on. We're having a little learning experience because I got this filter because it was free and I'm a sucker for free stuff. Oh, it has like a what? I don't know what that does. I don't know how to use the sequencer, but that's fun. Can I make this bigger? I can. That is potentially too big. An LFO. I don't need an LFO. What is the, oh, interesting. So these little arrows aren't arrows, they're other sliders, and this is just a filter. I just want to know if I can affect the slope to make it sharper. It's the resonance, but that's fine. Delay. Spread, smooth. Nope, that's just the flat cut. I don't know if I can, but it still sounds way closer than that other filter I was using. So let's modulate it. Hold on. There's threshold. Or frequency, rather. Okay. Do like that. That's sounding pretty good. I'm gonna turn it up a bit. Hopefully it's not too loud for stream. I guess I can also turn up my headphones without turning up. I don't think I want it going all the way full. Let's work on this resound a little bit. It's not bad. Oh, interesting. So this is a preset from probably an Echo Soundworks pack. The only Serum, so I mostly make my own sounds in Serum, and pardon me. And that is because anytime I've bought Serum presets, I've usually been very disappointed in them, but Echo Soundworks has some really sweet ones. This is pretty cool, pretty interesting. Oh, I need distortion. Ooh. Kind of like it without that filter. What is that filter doing? It's like a high and low pass. So I can kind of recreate that through my EQ. That gives me a lot more body. Because it is too loud for the mix, but at the moment, I keep trying to use my Mac keyboard volume. That is quite nice. What could we do to make it a little more interesting? When in doubt, saturate. I'm going to use the PalKid signature saturation technique, which is a Synoid Fold Bass 2 8 drive. And I usually, I'd always use analog clip saturation before PalKid sold me on Synoid Fold. And you could just, like, if you add 8 drive, you cut by 8 in your output, and it's the same. But I find Synoid Fold is a little bit louder. I'm gonna move that to kind of the key frequencies there. Might also open this up a little bit more and do just a little surgical cut at like 300. Let's see. Actually, it's not bad. Usually it gets rid of mud, but one thing is another little sound design EQing hack, whatever, that I don't see other people do, and I think it's because people like to just pretend that they already know everything. But put yourself high Q bell band and just sweep. You can see where sounds come from. So that's a really nice. There's your sub. Right around 100-ish sounds really nice in this Reese. around 167 is starting to get into like some unpleasant resonance. So I'm actually going to cut that. Oops. And this other cut, since I realized I don't really need to cut there, I'm going to put just a very gentle boost at that nice frequency. Probably made everything a bit louder, so if you're not listening with headphones, you probably can't hear anything right now and you think I'm crazy, but oh no, my antlers fell off, or horns, whatever. I don't know what do cows have. There's a story behind this costume, but I need to hit 500 subscribers before that gets shared. Okay. Be a little quieter too. Also want both of my chords to be quieter. Oops. So, little producer hack here, just for free. Cut anything below 20 in your kick drum. And I know you're like, but that's the sub, but it makes your kick drum sound so much punchier, and it gives you headroom, so you can turn it up a little bit more overall. I'm gonna do that same technique I just mentioned. I'm grabbing a random band here. I make the Q fairly high, so it's very narrow. So if you want to add some character kick, there's a frequency for it. I'm looking for that body, and I'm looking for if there's any like honkiness. Probably about there. I don't love that. It's a decent sounding kick that is now also quieter because there's less random unnecessary frequencies, which means I can turn it up slightly. 7. I like to set my kick to hit minus 10 dB and then mix everything around it. I don't know how I feel about the snare. I'm going to filter it down quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I like the sample, but I don't think that's the right snare for this track. Let's go back to the Humble Drums Kit 1. Snare. That's kind of nice. Let's see. How's that? I like that. That a lot. Like that boulder. That's a nice boulder. Oh, how did I not repeat my hats through that whole section? Oops. Oh. What's that? What snare? Box snare from Humble Drums 1. I made that. It's either me recording a real snare and processing the crap out of it, recording myself smacking some blocks of wood together, or it's generated in a synth, but I'm pretty sure that's just wood. It sounds like wood. I'm going to use a transient shaper, which is probably unusual, but I'm going to use a transient shaper on these hats. Let's make them have a little bit less of a tail. Sounding nice. Let's see with the bass. I turned off the sub oscillator in here. I put it back, but yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna change it to a saw or something with a little more character. You don't need a cut at 20, actually. Maybe you do. I can also use a plugin like Bass XXL, which I used to use Waves RBass all the time, but Waves is really annoying about basically every plugin you buy, you don't actually own it. It's a subscription. But this works essentially the same as my saturator again. Just has a really nice interface to see where I'm adding harmonics. Might put that before the saturator. It's a bit loud again. Actually, take that back. I'm going to remove that volume in the plugin. So that it still gets the same amount of gain pushing into the saturation. Okay, with the lead synth. I'm going to take some lows out of this lead synth for sure. Cut a little bit of mud around 300. Might try this chorus again. Maybe it's a little bit too much. I put before the EQ so it gets EQ'd. Might add a little bit of width to these chords by doing some parallel processing. Or some mid-side processing rather. That piano is really loud. Okay. So a little track if you want to do mid-side processing with plugins that don't have it. So you pair up two utilities, group them, split them into two effects racks here, and you can set one to stereo and one to mono, and then essentially you've split your signal into your where am I? Your mid and your side. So I can do things like I can turn down the mid channel a little bit in these chords. And I can add a little bit saturation on the side channels to warm it up a touch. And if you're wearing headphones or stereo speaker system, you should hear it's now moved out from center. It's a louder in that space, which hopefully gives the Lounge Lizard chords some more central room. I was gonna add a little bit more low mid just through EQ here. Just turn off the origin. I like having the low mids in there better than I like having the cool white noise. I might add Sketch Cassette is what has mostly replaced Origin for me, which is not free, unfortunately, but is kind of just the better plugin I find. Emulates recording to cassette as really precise control. Like you can time sync the like tape warbles so that it matches the rhythm of your song, which is a pretty cool effect. I'm gonna compress these into each other a little bit. My desert is quite loud, it seems. Yeah. Make you quieter again. I'm gonna make these chords quieter as well. Again, I don't think I don't even have that. Oh, I do. Oh, I just really cued the life out of it in Logic. 220, 3200. I might do that. There we go. That sounds way more now like. And it didn't occur to me that the snare starts from the start there. It starts from the start. Do you hear that, guys? That's why they paid me the big bucks. Man, I'm loving this snare right now. I feel like I want the lead. I feel like I want it louder, but I don't want to just turn it up, so I might. Saturate it a bit. Man, I'm really enjoying this little melody. I'm excited to do the vocals for that, see how that sounds. I am not confident that I can record vocals and have my mic send OBS at the same time, or I'd try it on stream. Oh, let's switch this piano. I just got a new piano. Oh, what's it called? Dang it, piano. Shearwater piano. I haven't even tried this yet. Let's see how it sounds. Enter your serial number. Dang it. Can I do this? Here. I can do this off screen. I think. This might go terribly. What's Shearwater? Shearwater. Give me my code. Okay, now I have to type it. I'm correct. This is off screen, right? Okay. Here, listen to some music while I type things. 2261814. Aha. Okay. And now we will watch it install without hopefully giving you personal information. 3 gigs of piano. Hope I have room while I'm recording. That's my MacBook. I went the conservative route with the pricing out my new MacBook. I didn't get the Ultra. I just got the Pro chip. I didn't get the terabyte or 5 terabyte or whatever hard drive. It's got 500 because the 250 hard drive is slower. So I wanted the faster hard drive. But I thought, I was like, I don't need more than 500 on my work computer. It's not like I'm gonna install a bunch of games or stuff. But then I'm constantly running out of space and having to use external hard drives. And I kind of want to install games on it too. Especially now that I'm streaming, I feel like it'd be fun to also stream game content sometimes. Come on, piano. So this track right now, which is about to have some sick violin, is a Zelda collab that I did with Lucas Cooper and Shay's violin. I saw that it is very loud again. I don't know what Spotify's deal is that it just insists on being the loudest thing on the computer all the time. Time to try to fix my alerts, but I don't want to break anything while I'm live. Come on, it's so close. It's so close. Just download, install it. Install it. This is an original track from a concept album I did where it was meant to be like the soundtrack from a video game, and I thought it was really cool, but it's not performed super well, and I might just try to redo it someday. Okay, here is my new piano. Ooh. Oh. Oops. That, I could see a use for it, but it's not what we want right now. I'm liking this one. I do want it a little bit bright because what it's playing is it's a room mic. I thought that was like a reverb. Oh, it lets me change the mic levels through using my scroll wheel, which is overwhelming. Cool. Okay. Add some brightness to it. Add my default saturation circuit. And then we'll add some vintage verb. Actually, no, let's add some ROM. ROM is a free reverb plugin that is absolutely phenomenal, and you probably never would need another reverb plugin, but I'm a collector of things and I collect reverbs. Kind of sounds better than everything else in this song. Might open this up a little bit more. I so wish hybrid wasn't broken on silicone, because I want to silicon Apple M series things, because I really want to make some changes in here, but I know if I touch anything it just breaks. just for funsies, before we wrap up stream, let's do a little bit of mastering work. Actually, why did I delete utility? I want utility. Mono my bass. Throw tape, soft tube tape on there. Use the B color, which these are 3 different models of tape machines that it's like very mysterious about for some reason. But I find that B is a lot more like low end saturation. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay. Let's use my smart EQ. Actually, something I've been doing recently. I like to throw an EQ 8 before everything else there. Just cut some of those sub frequencies because it doesn't hard cut them, it rolls them off quite a bit and gives me a lot more headroom for the rest of the mixing and mastering. I am for now gonna load a reference. Is this a bad idea? No, there's Slow Drive. Is a Mondo Beats song. Or Mondo Loops, sorry. So it's gonna attempt to EQ match my song to the reference, which usually is pretty dramatic, but it's okay, I'll make some changes. I'm gonna add my low cut again. Like that. Oops. I got a shelf. Oh. Okay. Let's add a compressor, maybe. Soothe, just sounds pretty good, but just I have a master default that just kind of is there to catch some stray resonant frequencies and stuff. Then we're gonna throw a smart limiter on it to make it loud. Oh yeah, I have to. Before it gives you most of your controls, you have to let it do its little AI thing, but it's always dumb and I never use its suggestions anyways. There we go. Okay, that was a bit too loud, strangely. Wow, that's the first time I've ever had it suggest soft compression instead of hard compression. Usually I have to correct it. Sounding nice. It's sounding like we're getting somewhere. Let me see what other elements. I know I have some like random transitions and stuff in the original. Let's see if we're missing any other melodic elements. Actually drop out for this section. I think the hats, I think I'm doing a filter on the whole drum bus. Yeah, because the filter's coming up as that filter does. Oops. Add a filter. Let's see. There. I might just use that same meta filter. Okay. Automate that. I could hear as I'm listening this closely, my bass is side-chained so aggressively in the old version of this track, which is not side-chained at all at the moment, so I'm gonna add a little bit, but it's not gonna be nearly that aggressive. Oops. Okay, let's see our version again. I want to figure out that riser. I'm pretty sure it sounded like kind of a synth hit. That is too much. Too much unfiltered. I might automate the volume down as the filter comes up, just so it's not actually getting louder. Because that is not super pleasant. Let's try something like that. Do more like 6. Yeah, I think that works. Sounds way better having that volume automated. Okay, let's see if we can recreate this riser. It sounds like a reverb tail from something. Oh, let's see. It's one of. It might even just be one of this single note from this preset. So let's. We're in the key of C, so let's hit a C. Duplicate that so I can freeze and flatten it without affecting the song that I want to keep. Might need to add some more reverb so it gives me a longer tail. That looks like something. Let's see. It's not. Oh, it's soloed. I don't know if that is what we did originally, but I don't mind that. Actually, after all that, hold on, let's back up a bit. I think I'm going to do it an octave down. Can I not undo anymore? Ah. Uh-oh. What did I hit? I hit something and I don't know what I've done. Oh, I froze the track. Unfreeze. There we go. Okay. Nope. We're done. I'm going to have to... Okay. It also has a delay. But again, I think if I try to turn the delay off, it's going to crash. Let's see. Huh? Okay. I think I'm going to add some more reverb to give me a nice tail. It's not very long, so to flatten. Interesting. Something like that. Might have been too low now. Yeah, I think it should have been an octave up here. Before we go through all that again, let's try just pitch shifting it. I don't mind that. I'm gonna save that as an effect anyways, even though it's not right. What is it? It's like feedback from something. The original, the whole thing sounds so filtered, which kind of like if you just want bass, probably sounds nice, but that would come from mixing and mastering when I spend some more time on it. I do have, I'm like almost positive that is a synth with a reverb tail that I just reversed, but I do also have my kind of signature transition riser effect. If we really want to make it sound like modern lo-fi Cody. I don't mind that. I think I like it better than this other thing I made. It's gonna sound so good when I actually get the vocals in there. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it down to that. Yeah, it's a little bit too quiet. I don't want to affect that because it's a good level once it gets this part. something else missing. Did I change? I changed. No, I didn't change any effects. I mean, I removed that filter, but I wasn't in the original preset anyways. That was something I'd added. It's just like an octave up or something. I don't think so, though. No, I don't think so. Just sounds like shorter, kind of. I got a shorter decay, but I don't. Hmm. Yeah, it sounds good to me, even if it's not the same. Hmm. Well, I think I need to give my ears a break if I'm going to be able to get much further on this. And I also would like to do the vocals, which I'm going to have to do off stream. So I'll probably end stream in just a couple minutes here. I don't know. I've had a few people say they appreciate these, so I might keep doing streams occasionally. I'm not jumping on a schedule yet. My real goal right now is to hit 500 subscribers so I can actually unlock things like super chats and memberships, and I might start doing other content. I'd like to do like gameplay and talking and interviews and stuff like that as well. I also am technically a Twitch affiliate, though I haven't streamed on it for like 3 or 4 years. So I might try multi-streaming on Twitch and see if Twitch chat's more engaged. So if you're a Twitch person, go find me on Twitch as well. Just Lo-Fi Cody, same name, absolutely everywhere. For the people that have been popping in to this, and for the people that are watching this after the fact, especially if you watch all the way to the end, I really appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the support. Please interact with me. I like getting to know that there's real people out there. I like talking to people. I'm an open book. You can find me on Instagram or Patreon. I know that's like oh, you just want my money, but actually mine you can join for free, and I post absolutely everything for free. It's just a nice uninterrupted feed, so I'm not relying on the algorithm to actually give you my content like Instagram, where if the first person that sees my Instagram reel is my weird aunt and she doesn't engage with it, it just stops in its tracks and never goes anywhere, and no one will ever see it again. So that kind of sucks. So yeah, if you want to support and follow, find me on Instagram or join Patreon for free. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Until next time, stay chill.